Hello and welcome to Dongamet channel. Today's toys. The orange ring and the CRKT Woods Chogan in 1055 carbon steel. I've been testing this a little bit. In fact, I think it may have been, if not the first, one of the very first videos I saw from dear Mr. Ulfgott, where he was not favorably comparing the tomahawk to other kinds of axes. And indeed, I very much inclined to agree with him on that point. But you know, the other day I was looking for stuff to get rid of, and I came across this, and what struck me about this one was the hammer pole, and how that could be a useful smasher for when I'm out doing the hemlocks, which it's going to take us a minute to get to a good place, because around here I kind of done everything. So if you look around here, you can kind of walk around all these trees. You know, like this hemlock, for example. You know, you can see where it's been pruned. So another interesting thing about this is this little part there, which was kind of swedged, as it were, false-edged. But I sharpened that up. And so, of course, this being like a friction fit, you can tap the handle off and kind of have that as a little knife, which is funny, but, you know, unless you've actually got a knife, you're probably not going to have much use for that. Although, actually, come to think, you could use that for batoning then, couldn't you? You could take it off the handle and baton that way onto here. Why you would then be doing that, I don't know, but it works for pruning, kind of like a hawkbill. You ready? Okay, it's always good when we go up the hill, right? We can, how about that? Right? So as long as there's a hill, I can throw something down. I can tire this gang out a little bit. And this is half of a log skidder assembly I've got going. It's the back part. I haven't really successfully used that part yet. So here's a nice example already. That kind of thing. So that, I don't think will smash off, but it might. Okay, it did actually. I mean, anything will smash off, I guess, if you hit it enough times. But something like this is just ideal. See how brittle this is? Right? You know, next time you're walking by, riding by on a dirt bike or whatever. Now this, yeah, this one, this whole thing here. Now once you get to this, okay, the hammer's still working for that kind of thing. But you have to hammer on this a lot. Pointless, really. Sorry, I keep covering the camera. But you can kind of half smash your way through these things. Oops, sorry, bad filming. Little tap with the point and then smashes off. Nice and clean, pretty clean. Okay, here's maybe a use for this thing. If I want to be OCD about it. And this one here can just reach. Oh. Snagging stuff works well with this, of course, right? Okay, well, I'll come and chop that up later. What is this? Oh, that's Hemlock as well. Yeah, that kind of thing. Smash, right? Why waste your edge? Just smash it. Now, where the tomahawk is, you know, you can do it, but this is so much easier when you have a knife, because you can kind of slash through a lot more, right? With the tomahawk, you need a bit of accuracy. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. Yeah. You take the tip off and then it bounces out, loses a bit of weight, and it clears out of your way. So over down here, I think I was doing some work. Okay, I see. Here's a prime example. Okay, I'm working towards this tree. Looks like you could go through that gap in the middle of these two, but you definitely can't. Look, you got this thing poking you, you got that thing there. And it's like the earlier you do this, the better, right? Because later the bark can just completely grow over that once it's flush. Now, this is quite lightweight, you know, compared to a lot of axes, hatchets, whatever. And so once you're chopping up, you know, shoulder height and above, that is a boon, you know, that it's not so heavy. And I used it two-handed. I did a little chop down a tree, and for that, you got enough handle here to get use out of it two-handed. Of course, I can't do that right now, but so something else I haven't had to demonstrate yet, but when they're green branches that you're pruning, you kind of have to go in this way first, otherwise it'll oh, this is a green one. Yeah, so I'll demonstrate, because otherwise it'll tend to tear out down the tree. When they're dead, they don't do that anymore, in the main. Okay, got this one here. Oh, a bit of a bad shot there with the hammer. Yeah, and if I take this out, this expanse is at head height, and the tree doesn't really need it. So, oops. Yeah, there are other tools I could be using for this. But this works pretty well. And actually, earlier I did something which, again, I wouldn't be able to demonstrate right now. But let's say I have something like this branch here, and I were actually tall enough to reach up there, which I'm way not. But you can grab the branch, pull it down, and then by pulling on it, you can launch yourself up, jump, and while you're up there at the zenith, you whack it, and then as you come back down, you're pulling on the branch. and the chances are you'll take it. So I did that with some hemlock earlier. Now, how to deal with this, actually, this is complicated, because this is beech, which is very boingy. I think if I just hit this like this, it's probably not gonna, I mean, maybe if I hit this here. Okay, yeah, that went. But, well, actually, that's pretty much going to take care of the problem, isn't it? Once I hit this, that's going to go boing a little higher, and it'll be out of the way. Yeah, see here for this, like a chopping knife, a machete or something, with the thinner stalk and the longer blade, and you can kind of slash through. Anyway, we got it done. And that is about a foot above head height now. A lot of times, I or someone else have already been through here in a hurry and left stuff looking like that. Possibly I did that, whatever, you know, a couple of years ago, and my accuracy has improved since then. And so I can confide in being able to do this and help the tree. Yeah, not every time also. Sometimes I hit the tree by accident, but they're pretty hardy things, these hemlocks. And we got a lot of them, so yeah, here. Okay. That's too high. So here we got a little, I'm gonna prune it a little bit. And then the question is, should I even leave anything alive, living? I'll just try and climb the tree. How about that? When I get back down, I want to say something about muscle memory. Don't let me forget. Okay. I realize that there are two very different kinds of muscle memory, to which I think I may appropriately refer as short-term muscle memory and long-term muscle memory. So long-term muscle memory is how you never forget to ride a bike. But short-term muscle memory is what I just used when I was hanging out there and I smacked about half a foot away from where I wanted to. You know, because it's an unfamiliar situation, and my accuracy, of course, I'm trying to hit a ways out of the tree and beaver my way in. So that's what I did, right? You make one, then you make one next to it, and that blows out that chip. You make one next to that, and as you go down, you start cutting in further. But I didn't need to be a whole 6 inches out. But you hit once, and then you hit again right next to it, and again right next to it. That's short-term muscle memory. And it enables you to do, you know, all kinds of things. So here's a little bit of pruning. Here we'd have to cut up with the hatchet, but we can try this thing here. Okay, so if I lock that in there, and then I just use my legs, pop, you know, nothing is going to stop that from going through, even if it's very thick and probably not that sharp, but there's a lot of power in the legs and it's going into this tiny fulcrum there. Where are we? Yeah. Imagine all the power of my legs going into that. Well, I mean, aside from whatever, you know, hammering nails and tent pegs, and yeah, there's obviously a load of stuff that you could do with this that I'm not going to demonstrate now, but that's some of the use I got out of it. And I've been lamenting, you know, that I had that Japanese Ibuki blade blanks hatchet, and it was going so well, and then I took a chunk out of it, but I just turned that into a serration, and it was still going well. And this is exactly the kind of thing I would be using it for, but it needs an intervention now to just tighten up the head a little bit. And so I put it down and I forgot about it, and now I got so many to do things like that. And this, you know, this friction fit, it's not going to fail for a while. It's been raining, and it's funny, it was going much further down the head. It probably will go further down, actually. So it did kind of pop off on me once in use, or it just came loose, you know. But obviously, this is way too punky. But you just tap it back on like that. When I got it home earlier, after doing the same thing, I popped it off the head to sharpen it. It's really easy just to hold the head in your hand without having the whole handle. You flick it back and forth, and you could use that in the Tormek or whatever. This is beech. I don't like to cut them too much. But this dead bit here, yeah, maybe take this too, and the power will go further up to the tree. See if I can use a prying effect here to get stuff in. You know what? Better going this way. Now I made the cut at the bottom. I can just complete here. Ouch. That was badly done. Very badly done. For those of you who don't know a thing about pruning, what I just did was very bad. And if you look at this here, you can kind of see, come on, focus. See that line there? You want to cut outside of that. Like that. You know, a little further in there would be okay, but see, that's that muscle memory thing. I tried again, I got closer, and then I hit. Good enough. Thanks for watching.